Hi, Adam here from Aerial Motion Photography, and in this video I'm going to give you 5 steps it takes to fly your DJI drone safely indoors. If that sounds interesting, let's get into it. Step number 1, and this is very important, we want to change the settings of what happens if the drone loses connection from the controller. We want to make sure that it lands in a safe area and it does not try to return to home. So the first step you're going to want to do, you're looking at the dashboard on the screen, is to tap the drone icon on the main screen. This takes you to the main controller settings. From there, scroll down to the very bottom where it says Advanced Settings. Choose Advanced Settings, and then scroll down to where you see Remote Controller Signal Loss Setting. You'll see that there are 3 options. We want to make sure that this is set to hover and not return to home. Okay, this is the fun fact, pro tip, personal story of the day. The first time I was flying my drone indoors, I thought I was being smart by turning the GPS off so that I thought the remote would just communicate with the drone and there wouldn't be any signal loss. But what I didn't account for was that it was still set to return to home and it was not on hover. And what happened was I was flying into this beautiful remodeled house. I was going to go through the front doors, huge open floor plan, dining room, living room, glass sliding doors, and then a spa and then a pool. And it was going to be really cool. If the shot worked out, it was going to be amazing. But what happened was as soon as it flies inside the house, it lost reception. It's only set to return to home. So the drone just goes, crashes into the ceiling, damages the ceiling, falls down on the ground. The propellers are still spinning. It's like skipping and dancing on the floor. And I'm like pushing the sticks in, trying to do whatever I can to have it stop. And it was really, really stressful and embarrassing. And the homeowner was standing right next to me while this was all happening. All right, step number 2, we're going to want to turn off obstacle avoidance. And while this may seem counterintuitive, it's actually very important if you want to fly successfully indoors. The reason for this is when you're inside and you're in tight quarters, the sensors are going to be reading the walls, the floor, and the ceiling, and it's often just going to keep your drone paralyzed in one place. That's because the settings are relaying to the drone that it's not safe and there's nowhere for it to go. But if you still want to be able to fly inside, you're going to need to turn these settings off. This will give you full range and you can go anywhere you want in the house flying. To turn off obstacle avoidance, you're going to want to go to the Settings tab and choose Visual Navigation, and you're going to turn off Enable Obstacle Avoidance. Step number 3, we want to turn the radar chart on, and this will help us with what we did for step number 2. In 2, we remove the obstacle avoidance. Here, we're going to turn the radar chart on. So what that's going to do is it's going to show us how close things are, and it'll be red if we're too close, or yellow, or green if we're safe. And we'll have the visual markers of it, but we still have the ability to fly through those warnings. To turn on the display radar chart, we're going to need to scroll down from the visual navigation settings until we see display radar chart. And we're going to select that and it's going to turn it on. And that's how you turn on the display radar chart. Step number 4 is visual positioning. And this is also very important. You're going to need to decide based on the area or the arena you're flying in if you want to leave positioning on or off. The way that visual positioning works is it uses the sensors on the bottom as long as the sensors on the side, and that's what keeps the drone flying in the exact same spot, hovering, not moving, just staying in the same spot. Okay, so that seems like what you would want. But like we were saying, it uses the visual positioning, and that's what it measures to keep it in the right spot. Let's say you're flying here over the floor of the house and we have it set for 4 feet off the ground, okay? If you're flying 4 feet off the ground, once it hits this countertop, it's doing this visual positioning and it knows that the position is set for 4 feet off the ground. So as soon as it hits the countertop, it will fly up 4 feet and keep going because of the visual positioning. In a house like this, and in many other applications, it will hit something. Okay, start out by going to positioning, scroll down to advanced settings. That's going to take you to enable vision positioning. Turn that off. You'll see a menu that says cancel or OK. Choose OK. Now that I have vision positioning turned off, I'm able to freely fly the drone without having to worry about ascending as I fly over objects. I like to follow the drone as I fly, and that gives me a really good line of sight, and also through my peripherals I'm able to see walls and other objects. Here's an amazing shot, and what I'm doing is I'm following the drone, walking slowly, keeping the drone flying very steadily, trying my best to get a straight shot and to keep the drone in the middle between the table and the lights. Step number 5, we want to adjust the controller sensitivity settings. So we're going to go to advanced settings and then down to sensitivities. And I like to turn down the yaw. So the yaw is side to side, and then the pitch is up and down. So I like to turn both of these down. And then I also like to turn the braking up so that you have more control and ability to stop the drone. Alright, you know the drill. From the main page, select position. Then we're going to scroll down to advanced settings. That will take us to sensitivity. And sensitivity will give us 3 options: attitude, brake, and yaw movement. I always turn the brake up, and the brake helps the drone stop quicker. Then attitude is how fast the drone will move, so I turn that sensitivity down. And then I also turn down yaw movement, and yaw is how fast the drone can pan. And that concludes this video of the 5 steps it takes to fly your DJI drone safely indoors. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and check those bell notifications so you'll be notified when I release my newest videos. Leave a comment. Did these tips help? Do you have any tips or tricks of your own? I'll be responding to all comments. And as always, my name is Adam, and I'm from Aerial Motion Photography. And I like to say fly safe, take care, and peace.